All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rakakadash, a double honor to the elder and apostle of the Maidstone, a peace, a blessing, and salutation to the Akim who are pushing these truths to the four winds of the heaven. It's your brother Yashaya Bani Yashara. It is another session of prophecy and news, and in front of you, you have from Dabu 7. He say, what do they know? US and Russia both developing plan to deal with incoming object, and this goes into that news in which Trump he set a big budget to establish or to militarize the space, and they are continuing to lie to you that there is an incoming object they need to guard against. Those incoming objects really as a chariot of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. There is no such a thing as an incoming meteors. Every now and then in this news, when you are on YouTube or mainstream news, they actually tell you there is an asteroid which missed the Earth in a close distance. It almost hit the Earth. I always see, especially in this channel Double 7, he always does that. And another bug out known as Paul Begley, he always does that news, man. He brings that news. There is an asteroid almost hit the Earth, man. Those are not asteroid, those are chariot. We know that through the spirit of Yahweh. And actually, this Edomite, man, they went forward and established the Space Force, man. What we call the militarizing the space, man, setting a space force as another unit, man. You have the Air Force, and now you have the Space Force, man. And in this news, Double 7 was going on. You can see this nation here on the ground, they have conflict, but when it comes to space, they have a unity. It is astonishing, man. So this Edomite really, they say they are bright and they have the highest IQ, which is true, because the scripture tell you this individual, this people will be wiser than Daniel, and it is true. But there are some things which, as the Lord, he don't want Esau to know, man. As those things were reserved to the prophet, man, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. That's why Esau, he don't know what the hell is going on, man. He's saying that the American and the Russian are establishing a space force to guard against an incoming object. You see, and you have these other people, they go into Planet X. There is no Planet X, man. Those are the chariot of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. Sometimes they are likened into a pillar of fire, you see, and a cloud, you see. So going back to that scripture, the Lord have set a boundary to Esau, man. There are certain things which Esau can't figure out. So what Esau he is doing is, he know there is something out of there, man. Going to back into that scripture, the devil believe into Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and not only he believe but he also tremble. So Esau knows there is something out of there, man, but he really don't know the magnitude of the chariot, man. He trying to speculate, man, and he is pressing what we call contingency plan, man. What is contingency plan? A plan, a plan for you, which will enable you to get out of danger, if not getting out of danger completely, to minimize damage. So that's what Esau is doing. He's pressing this space force as a contingency plan, man, to counter the incoming threat, man. But when they come to the public, they tell you there is alien, there is a threat, there is an incoming object. But through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we know a host is coming. So let me go and play this clip, man, so that you brothers can get something out of this.
We've all seen in the movies in the past that this incoming asteroid is making its way toward Earth, and you can see it in the sky, but yet they gave no warning.
So there is no such a thing as an incoming asteroid, man. You see, this is a chariot, man. You see, identify flying object. Identified aerial phenomena.
They told no one because they believed it was just going to create panic and clog highways, and really it wouldn't have mattered. So they decided not to tell anyone until people could see this thing in the sky last minute, and then it's too late. Well, if that was to really happen, of course, it would be too late. But sometimes you may be able to get a bead on what's happening just by watching the actions of governments and their militaries. And I say this in regards to space, in regards to not only Russia and the United States, but also China, Israel, all of these countries, India. They're all making these leaps all of a sudden to try to get to the moon and to get to subspace. And in terms of the United States and Russia, they are weaponizing things, and they are very concerned about an incoming object.
So, up until there, Double 7 is telling you, even India, China, all of these nations, man, the Lord have put a spirit on them to wage war against the powers of heaven, man, meaning the angel and Yahweh, man. You see? So, at the end of the day, in the climax of DOC, this nation will come together to fight the angel, man. Going back to that war in heaven, man.
Now, they want to keep telling us that it's an asteroid potentially in these articles. But what if it's something else? It seems to me that in tandem, even though...
So let's go and get a scripture before we continue on. So this is 2nd Ezra 13, starting at verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. So this was the vision. And there arose a wind from the sea. And the sea is talking about the firmament. And it moved all the way thereof. You see? And I beheld in a law that man was strong with the thousand of heaven. Who is that man, man? Yahweh, man. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whosoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. So that was going into that high concentrated laser beam which will be coming out of the chariot, like as the earth fails when it fails the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. Who are this multitude of men? This nation, Russia, China, and America, and the EU, the NATO and EU, as a beast. So the Lord is coming to take out of power that beast, man, as the NATO and EU. But this other nation, man. So what you are seeing now, this other nation are preparing for as a war in heaven. Here on earth, you see them, they have conflict, but they are very cooperative when it comes to space, because all of these nations are being controlled by the elite of Esau, man, the banking family. All of this nation, all of this president around the earth, they are being controlled by the Illuminati, the illuminated one, man, as a certain tribe. You see, they manipulate things behind the closed door. See, and because the scripture tells you the earth has been given to the hand of the wicked, going back to that, those the elite. Here on earth, they want what was to happen. The Lord has put a spirit on them to cause this what was free. And at the same time, they are uniting this president of this different nation to fight against the Lord, man. You see how stupid they are, man. From the four winds of the heaven, and to subdue the man that come out of the sea. That's why we always tell you this war, or the 1, or the 2, or the 3 are all orchestrated, man. And who orchestrates them? Is the wicked elite of Esau. Really, this nation are not in conflict, man. This top people in this different nation, China, Russia, are not in conflict. They know what is going on. But the people in the military, this regular everyday citizen into this country, they know that Russia is our enemy. No, Russia is not their enemy. The wicked elite are playing chess on behalf of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. How do you know that? Because when it comes to space, they are not united, but here on Earth they are not. You see, so this different nation will come to subdue men, the men which come out of the sea, out of the firmament. But he beheld in the law, he grabbed himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the regional place fell out, the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld in the law all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and they dashed to fight. So the Lord put a spirit on them to fight, even though they were very afraid. And the Lord, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, and nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, because the chariot is a spiritual vehicle, man. They can attack at will, man. You don't need to press a button like you are riding a fighter jet. But only I saw he sent out of his mouth that it had been a blast of fire. Ooh. And out of his lips a flaming breeze, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and a tempest. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breeze, and a great tempest, man. Going back to that sulfur, man. And they fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burning them up. Everyone thought that upon a sudden of an innumerable mountain nothing was to be perceived, but only dusty and smelly of smoke. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem Kakadash. And when I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward, though in the same man came down from the mountain and called unto him another a piece of mustard, and going back to the elect being beamed up, man. So let's go back into that news.
In tandem, even though they're acting like they're all fighting against each other on this world stage.
You see, 777 is even telling you they're acting like they're fighting together, but when it comes to spaces, they are very cooperative. Why? Because they know their time is running short, man. The devil, the wicked elite, they know something dangerous is coming out of space, man. There is no such a thing as an incoming asteroid or meteor, and none of that, man. The wicked elite of Esau are establishing or militarizing the space to fight against the coming angels, man, as the powers of the heaven. How foolish is that, man?
The governments are all mounting up for something huge. They are weaponizing space, and it's as if they're anticipating something incoming to focus all their guns on. And knowing that the fallen ones are already here, the bad guys are here, locked here with us, hiding behind our own people, makes me believe they know someone's coming down the pike. Redemption. Judgment. They don't know the day or the hour, but they got a window and they got a bead. Something's coming.
So, like there, 777 is telling you judgment and redemption. They don't know the hour and the time, but they are preparing. So the Lord put a spirit on this Edomite to make their tongue fall upon themselves. So he is telling you they are prepared for the judgment day, and they are prepared to fight the angel, man. Esau really didn't know what's going on, man. But they have that what you call speculation that something is about to go down, man. Something heavy, man, which will change the course of history. We call it the cataclysmic event, man. The first of all cataclysmic event is about to happen, man. First and foremost, a fire will come out of heaven, man. See, like how in the day of Noah, that was a cataclysmic event. A rain came out of heaven, man. It was not an unusual occasion rain to come out of heaven. And right now, it is not an unusual occasion a fire to come out of heaven. So this will be a cataclysmic event. It will change the course of history. You see? A breathtaking moment, man. That's why in the movie Matrix, that dude make a statement that it is very exciting time to live right now, man. And because we are approaching what we call the cataclysmic event, man, an event which will change the course of history, will change the course of nature, man. That's why the scripture tell you, even as a creature waiting, the manifestation of the Son of God, man. That's the real cataclysmic event about to happen, and the Israelite ruling the earth in righteousness. How is that not a cataclysmic event? So it is safe to say that some people have been blinded, because this is a very classified information, man. It is not, or it does not make sense for all people to have access to this classified information. And I understand why a lot of Jake have been blinded into this secret, man. Why? Because a lot of Jake are very simple, man. Very simple and sloppy, man. They don't want to study or do anything, man. So that's why the Lord made this prophecy a classified document. It is not accessible to the majority of people. You see, let's go and finish.
And to me, Oumuamua that went through here, the name stands for Scout. In Pathfinder, it was exactly that. That's why they called it a light sail. That's why it was long and metallic in nature, and why it picked up speed after it went by our planet, through our solar system. These are the facts of that object. Now, all of a sudden, they're all geeking out, trying to get to space as quickly as possible. Russia wants to put these things up there that will munch through things and crush things. They're talking about lasers and all this stuff. So the question still remains, what do they know? We may never get that answer in full, but it at least gets the wheels turning. And I think when you look at the bigger picture here, it definitely shows they know something's going on that they're not telling the masses. Now, I'm going to leave a link here. I'll continue to update with more info as things change. Follow me on Twitter.
So let's go to so this is Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven, and Michael and his angel fought against the dragon. What is the dragon, man? The NATO and the EU. And the dragon fought and his angel. And when you say the angel, meaning the messenger, man, this is a nation. And they prevailed not, and neither was their place found any more in heaven, meaning in space. Their place was not found any more in the heaven, meaning that all of those military installation in space will be destroyed. You see, they will be taken out of that dominion. And the great down was cast out, that old serpent. Who is that? Esau, man, the serpent in the garden. That's why he's referred to as old serpent, man. He was there in the garden, man, at the beginning of time. And during the time of inception, this devil is there, man. That's how you know that serpent in the garden, that was Esau, man. So you simple people say that Esau is not an Edomite, man. You have been blinded, man, and it is sad, man. Called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world, man. Who is that, man? The Arab were not deceiving anybody. He was cast out in the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You see? And I hear the loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation. You see? That cataclysmic event, man, which will change the course of history. And the strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his anointed, man, meaning the Israelite. For the accuser, going back to Esau, of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb, and not by us being militia, by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their life unto the death. So really, nothing should separate you with Yahweh, man, even if it is death, man. So what will happen after this cataclysmic event? Therefore rejoice ye heaven, man. the account of creation will rejoice, man. And he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitant of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is cast down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. So in Revelation 12, when you start at 7 coming to 11, when you come to 12, that's why people believe this was an actual demon Satan. Why? Because in verse 12 it seemed like the continuation of Satan being cast out. He came here on earth and starting deceiving people. Actually, verse 12 happened first before verse 7. Verse 7, this was talking about an end time. Verse 12 happened first. So you don't get caught into this breakdown, man. Don't get, because this different breakdown are a snare to you simple people, man. You simple people out of there, man. You see, you simple jack. You see, who don't have any vision, man. You don't have. You see, you don't have. You don't have that vision, man. You see. So this is Obadiah 1:3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, those that dwell in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high. Talking about the space, man. That says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's what Esau is saying, man. Who will bring me down to the ground, man? And though exalt thyself as the eagle, and though set thy nest among the stars. Going back to the Space Force, man. The Arab are not doing this. I haven't heard it yet. So you people say that Esau is the Arab, man. You are finished, man. Then will I bring thee down, says the Lord. Ooh. See? If thief came to thee, if robbed by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gazer come to thee, would they not leave some grapes? So this is going to Esau being wicked. See, Esau being wicked. So this is Luke 10 and 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So that was going to the war in heaven. Why? Because the chariot are super fast like lightning, and that is the speed in which Esau will be blasted out of the sky, man. So it will be a quick fall, man, a quick hit, man, an impromptu fall, if we will, an impromptu fall, man, like lightning, and he will be no more to be found, man, as that devil, man. So I hope this lesson was edifying. On to the next. Shalom.